Hey guys, Mr. here again for another video today, and we are back with our Houston Vikings franchise mode. So I'm sure you guys have caught on by now, but clearly school has been a problem recently, and obviously it's been taking up a lot of my time, and I've been hanging out with my friends a lot as well, so I have not had time to record too often. Obviously, that is the reason why I haven't been uploading as much. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I really am trying, but I'm falling behind in a few of my classes. And, yeah, so I've been trying to catch up. And, hopefully I will succeed with that. But it's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that because it is time for our 2020-2021 season with your Houston Vikings. So, taking a look at the team, honestly, it's pretty decent. So we have a first line of David Pastrnak, Ryan Johansson, and Andre Burakovsky, who is listed as a second liner, but he probably won't grow anymore. But that's fine. He's a pretty decent player anyways. Good offensive, defensive awareness, good offensive stats, decent defensive stats as well. So we'll see how he does there on that top line. Second line, Jake DeBruski is listed as a third liner, but we're going to keep him there with Nico Hischier and Alex DeBrincat, who is listed as a second liner with an absolute ridiculous shot. Very interesting to see how he will do. On the third line, we have Terry Yoshimura, who we drafted a 6th overall a few years back, 2 years ago, with Philip Zadina, who we picked up from the Flames a few years ago, and Pekka Markkanen, who we picked up from New Jersey last season, who is looking pretty solid so far. He is listed as a power forward, but I mean, the real reason why he's so high overall is because of his offensive and defensive awareness, and obviously his speed is off the charts good. Holy frig. 98 speed. That is crazy. Then on the fourth line, we have Devin Shore with Scott Lawton and Connor Brown. Kind of sucks the Browns on the fourth line, but you know what? It's fine. He's listed as a depth forward, so shouldn't hurt him too much. But now we have improved our defense in the last episode as well, so hopefully we will see a better defensive team this year, and hopefully won't let up as many goals. So on the top pair, we have Mark-Edward Vlasic with Drew Doughty. So a very good defensive first line, and Doughty brings in a lot of offense on that top pair as well. Second pair, McDonough and Shattenkirk. More of two-way defensemen, I would say. I mean, Shattenkirk's definitely an offensive defenseman, but he has decent defensive stats still. McDonough's defensive stats makes up for Shattenkirk's defensive stats, and he has decent offensive stats as well. So hopefully that top four, I guess, will be a good one in the league. On paper, it would be a really good one. Then on our bottom pair, we have Gabriel Carlson, who's still got 3 more years to grow. Whether he will or not, I do not know. Honestly, it just doesn't seem like he will, but you never know. With Xavier Ouellet. So it's a pretty decent third pair. Not too bad, and I have decided to not get rid of send Luukkonen down, even though he is listed as a minor starting goalie. I think it is time for him to at least get some starts in the NHL. So we'll see how he does. Some of his stats are really good, some others not so much. Like 5-hole, stick low, not very good. I mean, stick high and stick low, and also angles, they aren't too bad. That's definitely like backup stats. His glove high and breakaway are really good though, so we'll have to wait and see how he does. Obviously, he is only 21, so hopefully he'll do decent. Now let's go and check the AHL as well, just to show you guys what it looks like here. Did it change? I pressed the button now. Come on, game. Did it change? Okay, there we go. So, Pontus Aberg is our best player on paper. So, our top line, we have Sebastian Reese with Marco Vanainen and Kasperi Kapanen, who, honestly, that's a really good top line. We have a low elite, a medium elite, and then obviously Kapanen, a low top 6, but he's been pretty decent. Vanainen, hopefully we'll see a jump out from him, and same thing for Reese. On the second pair, we have Jacob Anderson, who we got from free agency in the last episode. A medium elite defenseman, yes, he's playing forward. Darcy Arnott, a low elite player who we got undrafted, or we got from free agency 2 years ago, playing with Pontus Aberg. So Aberg makes up for playing with a defensive defenseman, obviously. Then we've got Tommy Chakola, who's a medium top 4, who was also undrafted, with Adam Rzichka, who we drafted, and Leonard Buma, who was also undrafted, who we picked up from free agency as a low elite. Then Johan Shorstrom, and then Marshall Kessel, and Isaac Ratcliffe on the fourth line. On the top 2 pairs, potentially our 2 best defensive prospects. We have Juuso Välimäki, who could be ready soon for the NHL. Timothy Liljegren as well. Hopefully he could be ready soon. He has really good puck skills, really high offensive awareness. His defensive stats aren't too bad. Pretty fast as well. Jared McIsaac, not looking too bad, medium top 4, 20 years old. And then Lucas Johansson, who looks really good. You never know, he could definitely make it to the NHL as well. Then on the bottom pair, we have Yuri Korolev, a low elite, with Robinson Jocelyn, a medium top 4 as well. So overall, I mean, it's a pretty decent defensive core. Now, hopefully Herbass can do good. He has much more even stats than Luukkonen, but we'll have to wait and see. He's really fast, actually. 82 speed as a 64 overall goalie. Out of curiosity, well, I'll check in a second. So yeah, Herbass, hopefully, you never know, medium elite. And then we also have Alexis Gravel, who mainly just the backup because I don't want to put Sturm in, just because he's a higher overall than Herbass. So Sturm's still pretty decent, though. I mean, he has good value as well. We could always look to trade him, maybe. Now, let's go to goalies in the NHL. I just want to see, what is Luukkonen's speed as a 21-year-old? Let's see. Come on, game. Only a 79 speed, so he's pretty slow, but it's fine. Our scratch players, by the way, in the NHL, we have Riley Barber and Paul Martin. Paul Martin is listed as a top 6 defenseman, which kind of sucks, but we'll just keep him for this season. He is on the last year of his deal. And then Riley Barber is our extra forward. So, like what? I am almost 8 minutes into this video. I think it is time to start the simulation, and we'll see how we do. This should be very, very interesting. We'll sim to our first game. We'll see how we do in the preseason to start this episode. Well, to start the sim in this episode. I was going to say to start this episode, but not really starting the episode. Now, I don't know how far we will get in this episode. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. I mean, hopefully we can get far. Now, I'll start forwards for a month in the WHL, but really quickly, I forgot to go see where potential players are. I always forget to do this, but I definitely should, just in case, just so I know if I should be scouting somewhere. So let's check the draft class. So we have Paris, Conklin, Salcido, Banting, Weeks. So Canadians, and honestly, what is that flag? I do not remember what that flag is, but there's 2 of them projected to go in the first round. So, alright, well, basically everywhere. It doesn't matter too much by the looks of it. We'll definitely scout everywhere, though, just to see what is up. So, yeah, we'll just keep the scouting assignment the way it is. Now, let's advance day to our first. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Is this preseason? Yeah, this is preseason. So, I'm just going to let the preseason do itself. We'll see how we do. We'll sim to the Philly game. All right, let's see. So Winnipeg, we win 3-2 over. St. Louis now, we lose 4-2 over. Amateur scouting call, I don't care. Then we lose to Dallas. Minnesota, we beat. Nashville and Chicago in a back-to-back. Why is there back-to-back in the preseason? It's fine, though. We won both the games. And then Colorado. Let's see. Come on. A loss. So, you know what? 4-3-0 is a terrible preseason record, but we'll have to wait and see. Jacob Anderson has been injured with a concussion until November 24th. Well, that's awesome, isn't it? Just kidding. You know what? I'm not even going to make line changes. I'm just going to put in someone. Let's see. Does it matter? None of these players are mine, so we'll just go with Gunnarsson just because he is the best overall player. All right. So, Philadelphia, let's see. It is time to start the regular season. I think we'll go. You know what? Let's just start. We'll just go the first month. We'll just do the half of October that we have of the regular season. So far, not starting off too hot. Currently on a 3-game losing streak to start the season. 2-1 loss to Philly, then a 7-1 loss to Vegas in a back-to-back, and then a 3-0 loss to the Panthers not too long after that. So far we aren't doing too good, that's for sure. I mean, let's see, can we get a win over Colorado? We can, so, Ranta, buddy, I'm going to really need you to do better than that. Liverpool's doing good, though, 6-1-0, 7-1-0 now. But we are not doing good, 2-6-0. So apparently what I have going on is not too good. Although, for some odd reason, Burakovsky has 12 points in 8 games, and we only have a record of 2-6-0. What the heck? Let me see this. So 8 points for Pasternak, point per game player. Same thing for Johansson. Burakovsky's just having a really good start. But oh my god, yeah, he has a 31% shooting percentage. Jesus. Okay, second line, DeBrusque isn't doing too bad. Hischer's not doing too bad. DeBrincat's not doing too bad. Third line, not much offense out of our third line. They're all -8 as well, so that's not very good. Our bottom 6 are all minus. Actually, everybody on our forward core are minus players right now. Vlasic, -6. Everybody on the team is a minus right now. So, what to do? You know what? Let's switch McDonough and Vlasic. We'll try that. We'll just switch. We'll let in Carlson around. We'll see if that does anything. Now, I don't necessarily want to change the first line just because they are doing good. But, I mean, only 2 points for DeBrusque, only 3 points for Hischer, and only 3 points for DeBrincat. Yoshimura doesn't have a single point. I mean, his offensive awareness obviously isn't the highest, but still, I would have liked to see a little bit more out of him. So we'll switch Shore and Yoshimura. Now, Markkanen, I think giving him third-line ice time so soon is too early, so we'll give it to the more veteran-like player of Brown. So, wait, maybe? You know what? No, we'll keep it like that, I think. Zadina, yeah, okay. So, you know what? We'll keep it like that. We'll see if those changes do anything. Actually, I should check the goaltending, because I'm assuming it's the goaltending that really isn't doing too hot. Actually, before I do that, how are defensemen doing for points? So 4 points for McDonough, 5 for Doughty, 0 for Vlasic, and 5 for Shattenkirk. So honestly, I really don't know if I want to change up our top 4. Our top 4 is doing decent the way it is. Now, Vlasic obviously doesn't have a point, but still. Ranta, 6 games played. He has a 3.2 GA and a 904 save percentage. I'm assuming, actually, I'm pretty positive Luukkonen was playing in the back-to-back against Vegas, which obviously isn't good. Man, he had a wicked season last year in the AHL. I would only imagine having him have a season like that again, but now in the NHL as a backup, I really don't know what to do. I mean, maybe those few line changes could help us out, but I mean, really, at this point, I don't know. It's looking pretty rough so far. In our first 10, can we go 4-6-0? No, we won't. We best will go 3-7-0, and we go 2-7-1. So only 5 points in our first 10 games, and another loss to Vancouver. We did beat the Pittsburgh Penguins, though. Now against the Islanders, we beat 4-8-1 now. Nice, getting some points, bringing the record up. Liverpool is doing extremely good, though. 12-2-0, now on a 4-game win streak as well. So maybe we just had a slow start. Steve Mason, no thank you. I'm not even going to look at trading for Steve Mason. Liverpool, though, they're doing really good. I'm very happy about that. Now, Anaheim, we got a point, which is good. Minnesota, we beat as well. So we are now even. We are 8-2, so that is really good. Anderson is back. So we will put him back in. I don't think he's grown at all. I don't think so. He's still listed as an injured player, but whatever, it's fine. So far, November has been a pretty solid month, I'm not going to lie. Let's see, where to scout right now. Forwards again in the queue. Why not? So, Tampa, we lose to, all right. Now, Boston, we beat, all right. So, still keeping it an even record of 9-9-2. Isn't too bad. Shootout loss to the Winnipeg Jets, but we did get a point off. Then we lost to St. Louis. Then we come to the end of November. So overall, November was pretty solid. I mean, we had 4 regulation losses, 2 extra time losses, or 3 extra time losses, sorry, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. You know what? Overall, that wasn't too bad of a record. Now, Burakovsky is still a point per game player. We did move up in the standings as well. We are now in 6th, which we were in 7th. Although, really, if we win our next game against Arizona, we could be in 4th. So, it's really early to tell. Wow, Chicago's doing really good with 34 points. But, yeah, it's really early to tell. So, let's see. Pastrnak not doing too bad. 17 points in 22 games isn't bad. What is that? 17 points as well for Johansson. So, yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, our first line's doing really solid together. DeBrusk, 6 points. Hischier with 9 points. And DeBrincat with 9 points. But the minuses on that line are really quite something. -13, -12, and -9. Nobody has as bad of a minus rating on the team. Our entire first line is positive, which is good. And the only other forward that is positive or even is Connor Brown, who is even. So, what to do, man? I really don't know. Has Yoshimura gotten some points? He has, all right. How, you know what? Let's move DeBrusk down. Move Shore and Yoshimura. Or we'll switch them around, I should say. Lawton, you know what? I think we'll keep that the way it is. Just to see if that will help out defensively. Vlasic still has yet to get a point, although 11 for Doughty, 8 for McDonough, and 10 for Shattenkirk. So Shattenkirk's doing good. Bottom pair, not too bad. Everybody is negative on the team, though. I mean, our goaltending has really been not great. 267 GAA and a 917 for Maranta, and then an 883 and a 342 for Luukkonen. So I really don't know how I feel about that. I mean, maybe we could look at a starter, but I really don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I should just check this out. And maybe Steve Mason wouldn't be a bad option. I mean, I really don't know if I want to take in Steve Mason, but it's definitely possible. Arizona don't have a goalie on the block. Philip Grubauer, I mean, he's probably a backup. Is he a backup or is he the starter in Boston? I mean, he played 11 games, so you would think he's the starter, but I don't know. Actually, no, he's probably the backup, but they've played 22 games, so I didn't mean to go to draft picks. Let's go see. So Rask is still the starter. He's not doing very good either. He's played 12 games, and Grubauer has played 11. So, I mean, Grubauer wouldn't be a bad option. We'll wait and see, though. Let's, can I check? Yeah, let's go check. Goalies matching the block. So, Boston, yeah, we did trade Grubauer there. I mean, we could always bring him back. Carolina, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus. They have a prospect goalie. Dallas, Detroit, Edmonton. They have a prospect goalie. Florida, LA, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville. Anton Forsberg is not a starter. Steve Mason, he's doing really good, but he's a backup right now, so I don't know. I just don't like Steve Mason from the experience I've had with him in the Winnipeg series. That's why I traded him away in the Winnipeg series. He wasn't good. Now Malcolm Subban, obviously he looks interesting, but his stats are not. So we're just gonna move away from that. Michael Neuwirth, interesting. He's also a backup by the looks of it. He's only played 9 games. Let's see, who are the goalies here? Talbot is their starter, and Neuwirth is the backup. So, Michael Neuwirth is an option, that's for sure. So we've got, I should write this down, we've got Grubauer on Boston, and then we've got Neuwirth on the Flyers. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Let's continue on with goalies. To Pittsburgh, they have Gustafson, who's a prospect goalie. San Jose, St. Louis, they have prospect goalies. Connor Ingram, prospect goalie. More prospect goalies. Vancouver, nothing. Vegas, nothing. Washington, nothing. Winnipeg, Pavlik. So, I really don't know. Grubauer has better stats. I do know that. Grubauer has also played more games as a backup. So, I mean, it would be a big load to bring in Grubauer like that. Obviously, we did trade him away. But, I mean, the player that would be going... Well, it would be a... I'd like to do a 1-for-1. I mean, would that go through? I think definitely. I don't know, though. We could go for Grubauer. It is, like I said, it's a possibility. Or we could go for Neuwirth. I truly do not know, though. Let's see. Philadelphia. Neuwirth. I mean, his stats are pretty decent. He's had a decent save percentage, but he's played less games. Contract isn't terrible. 3 years at 2 years left with like 3.07 mil. How about Grubauer? 3.115 mil at 4 years. Honestly, I mean, that's an acceptable contract for a goalie like that. I don't know. What is he listed as? Is he listed as a starter or a backup? Let's see. He's listed as a starter. So, I mean, stats, obviously, I'd say they go to Neuwirth, but in-game stats, like actually playing in-game stats, it would go to Grubauer. So, I think I might need your guys' help on this. Let me know what you think. We could do, more than likely, we could do 1-for-1, Ranta for Grubauer on Boston, but if we went to Philly and we tried Neuwirth, we'd have to give up a lot more, which maybe Naslund as well. I probably still wouldn't go through. They don't want Naslund. It would probably have to be Gravel. I mean, we could use Sturm and Naslund. So we get Philly would have too many goalies. That wouldn't work either. So, I mean, like I said, we could use Naslund. That just brings up the value a little bit. And we could use a draft pick, it would probably have to be a second. I don't know. I think it would be much less riskier to have to give up less for Grubauer. I just don't think Ranta's the answer in net. I was hoping he would be, and I was hoping I wouldn't have to get rid of him. But I don't think he is the answer in net. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should we go for Grubauer, or should we go for Neuwirth, or should we stick with Ranta? Please let me know. Those are the 3 options. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you all did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.